Hi, and welcome back to Suricata Crafts. I'm Rebecca, and welcome to the first episode with my new microphone. I hope you guys can all hear me. Leave me a note in the comments about the volume and whether it makes you happy. This is the first episode of a new podcast that I'm hoping to put out monthly called My Favorite Things. We're going to talk about what's going on with my family, what I'm working on, what I'm going to be working on, and just touch base. So here goes. I'm going to start telling you all about my temperature blanket. What's a temperature blanket and why would you even want to make one? So a temperature blanket is a blanket that keeps track of the weather or weather events during a time period. It might be the year you got married, it might be the current year, it might be the duration of a pregnancy. It could be anything you choose. And why would you want to make one? It just records a snapshot in time using color. You start by choosing your colors. The pattern, some people do stripes, some people do a corner to corner, some people do a granny square blanket. I chose to do a hexagon blanket, and I'll tell you more about it in a bit. Then you choose the weather event. Are you going to record the lows, the day's highs? Are you going to choose the average temperature of the day? Or are you going to record precipitation? Or are you going to combine them all and record the lows during the winter and the highs during the summer? It's up to you. It's your blanket. You can choose whatever you want. By choosing both the lows and the highs, you'll get a wider range of color in your blanket. Then you need to start recording your temperatures. You can either record it as you go day by day or look back with a weather tool online that tells you historical temperatures. I use wunderground.com, and every day I go in and check the day before what the weather high was and record it in a notebook along with the kind of weather that stood out to me the most. Was it sunny? Was it snowy? Was it really windy? Was it rainy? Or did it not have any precipitation at all? And I have a different pattern of hexagon for each of the different weather events done in a different color according to the temperature. So I'll have a very textured, colorful blanket in the end. Next thing you need to do is compile your tools and storage. So I have this bag made by my mom on her embroidery machine. And inside I keep a crochet hook. This is a number 4, dedicated solely to this project. For the duration of the project, this will only be used for this project. I keep scissors and a needle for sewing in all of my ends as I go, so I don't have a lot of ends to sew in at the end. I keep hand cream and lip gloss just in case. You need to collect your yarn and have somewhere dedicated to store it. I got this case off of Amazon, and it's big enough to store all of my yarn in half and the blanket in progress in the other half, along with all of the tools that I need for the project. After that, then you just need to get started. Most importantly, keep going and don't get discouraged. You're going to get behind. The best way is to set aside a time every day or every week or every month to catch up on your blanket. Every Sunday, I'm going to set aside time to do that week's hexagons, but I know at some point I'm going to get behind. Life happens. Don't get discouraged. Keep going. Time will happen. You'll have some vacation in the summer or a break in the fall, and you'll have a chance to catch up. And if not, it's not a big deal. Keep recording your temperatures or go back and look them up. Just don't give up. You'll finish it. It'll be gorgeous in the end. So this is a sneak peek of my blanket. So I started making hexagons like this. I know, it doesn't look like a hexagon. That's because this one is just newly crocheted and hasn't been blocked yet. I'm going to insert some footage of my blocking process so you can see. After blocking, it looks like this. This is on my blocking board where it stretches it into a hexagon and it'll dry like this. And then the final result looks like this. That's a hexagon. And as I stitch them together, it'll make the points more pronounced and the sides straighter, and I'll have a gorgeous hexagon quilt. Next up, I'm going to tell you about what me and my cats have been up to. So I have 3 cats. I have Wonton Soup, Egg Roll with Rice Shaw, and General Zoe, who you've already met. And if I'm not at work, I usually have a cat with me, either sitting in my chair, following me around, or letting me know it's time for treats. Every evening, we spend time together as a family. We really like Survivor. My family tolerates Big Brother Canada, and we're very excited for the return of 911. Every day, I have a 30 to 40 minute commute to and from work, so I always have an audiobook on the go. I've just finished the Hunger Games trilogy for about the 100th time, and I'm rereading some of the J.D. Robb In Death series, while I anxiously await my turn on the Libby app for the audiobook. Something I'm really excited about is the release of the 3rd book in a trilogy by a Canadian author named Katja Desjardins. The series is called the Hellhounds Trilogy, and it's about 3 brothers, Alex, Ryan, and Beau. And they have been cursed by Hades to be hellhounds. So they can transform into a hellhound at will, but when the 3 brothers are together, they can transform together into Cerberus, who is the guardian of the underworld. So they've been tasked by Hades to hunt down members of the Perseus bloodline, and Alex is on the hunt for the latest member when he is hit by a car while in hellhound form. So the park ranger at the national park, whose name is Charlotte, is investigating reports of a big black dog being hit, and they want to find him and help him when she runs into Alex in human form in the woods. And they instantly have an attraction, of course, and now Alex has to balance staying focused on his mission and nurturing this new attraction that he has. The books are riveting and really hard to put down. Get ready to read it in one sitting. The first book in the series is called Junkyard Dog and follows Alex's story. The second book, Leashed, follows Beau's story. And the third book, which was released just on the 15th of March, is called Muzzled and follows Ryan's story. I'm so excited to find out what's going on with Ryan. You can get these books on Amazon, Apple Books, Kobo, Google Play, and Barnes & Noble, and I strongly suggest investing in them. They are amazing. Let me know in the comments if you like them, or if you've read any of her other books. We're going to have some tea and talk. Today I'm drinking toasted brown rice and green tea, which my friend Zuza got me addicted to, and it's a super mild blend, very relaxing, and helps me to stay calm when I'm doing things like filming so I don't ramble. This year I decided to go back to work, and I manage a yarn department at a local store in Ontario, Canada. I struggle to find the balance between taking care of my family, giving everything I can at work, keeping healthy, and also keeping up with my other commitments. So I'm learning to find the balance. Biggest thing for me is learning to say no. So I have a big commission on the go right now, and I've been asked 3 times to take on more. And it's really hard for me to say no because I always want to be the one helping people. To get my commission done in time, I need to reach goals by a certain time. And so far, I've been really good about reaching them. Giving yourself compassionate deadlines, meaning I'm going to try to have this done for this date, but having flex date in the end. So my goal is to have this done by the end of March, but really I don't need to have it done until Easter. But I'm not letting myself think about that extra week. It will be done by the end of March. Currently on my plate are my whips and fob. Whips means works in progress. So I currently have 3 blankets for my commission, a blanket for work, and also my temperature blanket. I'd like to say I've never had this many blankets on the go at once. I have 3 knit blankets made from Bernat blanket, which is a size 6 chenille wool, and knit on size 10 millimeter, size 15 US needles, which are really hard on the wrist. I keep it mixed up by doing some hexagons for my temperature blanket or by doing some hexagon puff stitches for my work display. Then are my fobs, which stand for finished objects, so things that I've just recently completed. My big thing I've done is my work display, and this month we focused on giving back. I did a display full of hats, mitts, and scarves, which are going to be donated when the display comes down. I also did a blanket for a wheelchair for somebody in a nursing home or in a hospital, and a pet bed as an example of something you could donate to an animal shelter. I also just mailed out a parcel to Alberta for my 2 best friends who are 3 and 4 years old of these dolls that look just like that. They can draw pictures of clothing that their dolls wear and send it to me, and I'll make the clothes and send it back to increase their doll's wardrobe. I love coming home from work and having mail. I don't get mail every day, and I don't always like the mail I get, but when it's yarn, I'm always thrilled. So this is my latest shipment from Hobbii, and it's for my temperature blanket. I have 17 colors, and they are Amigo, which is 100% acrylic. It's a number 3. It's a DK weight, and they are 50-gram balls. So this is just my starting lot, 1 of every color for the 17 colors, and I have another shipment on the way of the ones that are going to be used the most according to the temperatures that I've recorded for the first quarter of the year. The colors that I've chosen are dark blue melange, cobalt blue, navy blue, peacock, hunter green, emerald green, egg yolk, curry, cognac, rust, dark red, bright red, vintage pink, mauve, dark magenta, and Bordeaux. The second parcel that I got this week was my first shipment from Annie's Hook and Needle Kit Club. And I got the Color Exchange Wrap. It comes with instructions. You can either crochet it or knit it. And it came with 3 balls of DK weight yarn made exclusively for this pattern. The 3 colors that I got are Ember, Gemstone, and Rainforest. So my final thoughts for this session are to pace yourself. Acknowledge what's going on in your town and your province and your country and the world. But don't let it swamp you. Don't let it consume you and bring you down. Do what you can to make the situation better, but also accept that there are things that we can't change. Take time to enjoy the small things, like this coming spring. The first signs are just starting to show. Some of the birds are coming back and the snow is melting. Enjoy the sunny, warm days after this long, cold winter, and enjoy the promise of spring. Take time to listen and be kind to one another. You never know what another person is going through. Thanks for watching. Please like this video, hit subscribe, and don't forget to ring the bell so you don't miss any of my other videos. I'm Rebecca, and this is Suricata Crafts. Happy crafting and have a great day.